Alright, here we are for round number 3. Trying to salvage any chance we have at getting a treasure chest. Another no-lander. This hand is okay, I'll keep it. Another island on top. I do kind of want another island, so I'll leave that on top, I think. So I'm going to brainstorm here, and then I'm going to stop in my upkeep and see kind of what we want to do. Actually, I think I'm just going to go ahead and draw that island and then pass the turn. I don't think there's really any way that we could have drawn anything to get these anglers down anyways, so let's go ahead and brainstorm. Probably going to shuffle away Ghastly Demise and an angler. Definitely shuffling away Ghastly Demise, and then I do think I would rather have a Sandworm than a second angler, probably. No, let's go ahead and just keep both anglers. Alright, so we got the swamp. I assume my opponent thought I was on blue-red before this. I think I just play the Dismal Backwater. Let's go ahead and do that. I could brainstorm here, and if I hit a Thought Scour, I could get an angler down this turn. But not super interested in doing that sort of thing. Got another brainstorm here. Ash Barrens, alright. Let's put that swamp back in the deck and shuffle it away. I think I will grab the swamp again. No, it's probably an island. I don't really foresee requiring double black. Okay. Delver's a pretty good one. I'm going to ponder first. If we can have like a Spell Pierce, I'm just going to jam this angler, I think. Okay, those are pretty good. Shuffle, no. Alright, we got Delver. Got a Gurmag Angler that I can't cast because he didn't kill my Delver. I don't really want to just jam an Angler into their counterspell. I needed them to do something like this, and then I could Spell Pierce it. I'm still going to Spell Pierce this because I want them to have to spend an Edict on my Delver. Okay, they just have another Disfigure. So this is a matchup where I'm sure Delver just comes out. Augur Boss, interesting. I wonder if we're playing against like okay, they've got the same sweet tech that I do. You just play this stuff. All right. Let's go ahead and brainstorm end of turn. I want all this stuff, I think. Actually not going to be able to get all of it, unfortunately, because I do have to get rid of some of it. Mental note. Do kind of want another swamp, because I'll be able to play both my Gurmag Anglers this turn if I draw my swamp. Swamp. Alright, we got Gushes. Gush into a swamp. Or are they both gone? There's one swamp. Okay, well. Might as well play around days at this point. I have to draw a lot more anglers in order to make this not work. Like I've already got enough stuff in here for 2 more full anglers costing only 1. So I guess I got punished for grabbing that island before. I didn't think I would really need double black in a turn even though I had double anglers, but it turned out I did. Looks like I'm getting Chainer's Edicted, or am I just getting ratted? Yep, Chittering Rats. Pretty annoying that I don't have any way to get rid of this stuff, because these cards are pretty bad that I have in my hand right now. My opponent did tap low on, they did tap low for Counterspell. which is an interesting decision. Let's go ahead and cycle the Sandworm first. See what I draw. Another island is a terrible draw. See if he double blocks and then tries to disfigure me. It's kind of what I'm hoping happens, and then I get to Ghastly Demise the Augur. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get rid of non-creatures. Opponent didn't have a Chainer's Edict last turn, so hopefully they don't have one this turn. They really need to find one, like right now, basically. An Evoked Muldrifter, interesting. Are they playing like Undying Evil? Or are they just really desperate to find a Chainer's Edict, I guess? Alright, well. Radiant Fountain's cool. Looks like they found one. Yeah, looks like we lose. That's a shame. That is a shame indeed. We kind of flooded at the end here, and our opponent found what they needed right on time. Yeah, this game's over. If they have an untapped land, we're going to lose right away. So you're kind of seeing the weakness of Angler Delver in general. This has nothing to do with this deck in particular. This is just an Angler Delver problem. Yeah. I guess I don't have to concede, but this will be my last turn to continue playing. If depending on what happens here. Like if I draw another land, if they edict away my Angler and I draw another land, I'm just gonna concede. There's just a lot of removal out there, and you don't play. None of your threats are resistant to removal. They're all just horrible against removal. Every single one of them. And everyone's playing a ton of removal because Stompy's so popular. Well, let's see what we get here. Cycle that away. Okay, well, gonna Bojuka Bog their Chainer's Edict away, so maybe they should have considered that, I guess. I don't know. I should have attacked first. This is a pretty costly mistake, because if they chump block, now I can't really exhume. Okay, well, they didn't feel like chump blocking anyway, but not really gonna be able to exhume. Just doesn't matter. They have a counterspell, and I have nothing. I have no way to bait out their counter. I need to draw, like, Think Twice. Did I already use my Gush this game? I think I already used my Gush, right? Yep, Gush is gone. Think Twice is the only remaining, kind of the only remaining card advantage spell in the deck. Removal is terrible against them. I'm just holding this. I'm going to keep taking 2 or whatever from their Muldrifters and stuff. It just, that's not important at all to me. Okay. I'm going to hold our last island, but I'll play one more out at this point. See if this draws out my opponent's counterspell. Probably won't, because it doesn't matter at all. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about playing a deck that just doesn't have enough removal. Like, we don't have enough removal to deal with Stompy, really. Yeah, our opponent's just gonna race us because of their Radiant Fountains. Another Muldrifter, pretty bad for us, pretty bad indeed. So they can't hold up double counterspell this turn, so if I draw something in theory, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, let's attack. I've had some mana problems this league for sure. I've had a lot of hands with 0 lands, and now I drew 9 of them, and I shuffled a couple away already. And yeah, this is kind of the disadvantage also playing these Greater Sandworms. If they were a different fatty, I could just play them. But none of the other, besides the Twisted Abomination, none of the other ones are really castable. None of the other ones get into your graveyard and are castable for the most part. So the Greater Sandworm's sweet. I have just died to this card because I had like a bunch of 1/1s and they snuck this in and then I just couldn't do anything about it. So we got a 1 here. I need them to like play a Muldrifter. Reanimator, not good for us. I need to draw a counterspell this turn, exactly. And I need them not to have 2 counterspells. Well, I don't know. Maybe it'll mess up. Go ahead and do that. Looks like he's got a Ghostly Flicker. Alright, we're dead. So, got a little flooded that game, and then we lost. So I want this Dispel, Deep Analysis probably, and I would guess these Nile Spellbombs are for this matchup, and then the Stormbound Geist. I don't really want any of this other stuff at all. So let's see what I want to take out. I hate the Delvers, so I'm going to take all of them out. And then I don't really like removal either, so goodbye, Ghastly Demise. Maybe I need the Delvers just so I can really aggro them out, but I would rather have nothing in my deck be vulnerable to Disfigure. I'm not really sure if that's correct, but that's the way I'm going to play it. That's the way I like to play a lot of these matchups. I try to give them some dead cards. Like, they have to respect the Delver, so they have to leave some Disfigures in, but I just don't have the Delvers anymore. Let's go with this. Seems fine. Do wish I had a little more Edict protection in the deck. Well, this is another mulligan. No blue source. This hand looks fine. I'll keep it. Our opponent's mulliganing, so we might have a chance this game. I think I have to put the Gush on the bottom, unfortunately. If that were a big fatty, I would probably have left it on top, so I could use the island and mental note it away. Alright. Another island. Just going to pass a turn here. See what my opponent's got. If I mill something with this mental note, I'll be able to exhume it. And I got pretty lucky there. It's possible I should have just cast that so I could get my spellbomb. So we do have a big Sandworm right away. Problem is the Sandworm still just dies to Chainer's Edict, you know. If they have Chainer's Edict, it's still gonna die. I will get to make another one, so that's kinda cool, even if they kill it here. So I do need 2 Chainer's Edicts. Problem is like Doomblade also kills it, so maybe I should have gotten the Abomination back instead. Yeah. That was maybe a mistake. I should have maybe gotten this back instead. Just because Doomblade doesn't work on it. That's a tough call. So let's see what I draw. Hopefully I draw like another Mental Note or a Thought Scour or something. No, I didn't. Kind of screwed on black mana. So at this point I think I still am going to get the Sandworm back. I do get kind of owned by another Doomblade, because I could have just gotten this Twisted A-Bomb back, but this is just so much better against like a Seagate Oracle and stuff. And it's the same against the Chainer's Edict. Yeah. Well, alright. Now they have Counterspell up, and I haven't drawn anything good. I've just drawn black spells every turn of the game. Ponder's a good draw. Let's start off with that. Those are all terrible. I don't want any of those cards. So let's go ahead and shuffle these. So what are the chances that I get one of those 3 cards here? Yeah, pretty good. Pretty darn near 100%, that's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Sultai Scavenger since I'm pretty confident I'm going to get countered here. And it takes the least number of cards out of my graveyard. No, I didn't get countered. Interesting. Maybe he's planning on double disfiguring this thing. I can't believe I didn't get countered there. I thought for sure I was going to get countered, and then I would play this Angler next turn. And I'd be able to leave a creature in my graveyard. Alright, well. Yeah, definitely got a little punish there, because now I can't hold up this counterspell either. I have to tap all the way out. No, I'm just not going to play anything. I'll just hold up counterspell. If they want to play like a Muldrifter or something, I can counter it. Problem is this clock is really slow. Mental Note is a great draw. See if I just get dispelled here. Actually, I wouldn't care that much if I get hit with a dispel. I do have to consider if I want to exile my opponent's graveyard here, so they can't cast Chainer's Edict. If they tap out for Chainer's Edict, though, I think I'm probably pretty happy with that anyway. So Muldrifter I'll counter. I don't expect it to work, but we can at least get some of their spells out of, like their dispel out of their hand. Yeah, I mean, pretty obvious. It's always a little frustrating when you know exactly what your opponent has, but there's not a lot you can really do about it. So I'm going to pop their graveyard and draw a card with my spell bomb. Just get the Chainer's Edict out of there. Alright, what do we get? We got a Dispel. Not bad. And we got an Exhume. Well, what would I rather have? An exhumed creature? I think I should probably exhume just because this turn I'll be able to... they won't have their Muldrifter or whatever in the graveyard. Grabbing the Sandworm again. I'm kind of on the Sandworm plan at this point as far as exhumes go. Be nice if I'd hit another Black Source at any point, like I could have played Angler plus Exhume there. I have to decide if I want to dispel a Doomblade. I probably won't. But I'm not quite sure yet what I'm gonna do. Opponent's gained a lot of life. This is what, like 8 life or 6? Yeah, 8 life off of lands so far. Shooting Rat's pretty annoying, but it is what it is. I'm not just gonna cycle my Sandworm in response to that or anything. I will do it end of turn though. If they want to Doomblade me, whatever. It's interesting that this Muldrifter stayed back. I wonder if he's gonna try to just chump block. Can't block my Sandworm no matter what. Maybe he's gonna like disfigure. Yeah, do I want to dispel this? Probably not. I'm okay with that scenario. Let's go ahead and Angler. I'm going to leave up 1 mana. Let's get rid of my Exhume. And just leave all the creatures in there. I do have 1 Exhume left in the deck. The reason I didn't dispel that is I really didn't want to get hit by... didn't want to get hit by like a Remove Soul kind of spell. That would have been pretty annoying. They do know that they have free reign to cast these Muldrifters though, unfortunately, with the way that I did this. I will dispel a Doomblade at this point. Diabolic Edict, I'll dispel that too. I assume I'm getting countered here. No. Interesting. This attack is also interesting. Well, So I wonder if my opponent is on the disfigure my Gurmag Angler plan here. Nope, he's not. So I have to decide if I want to Echoing Decay both of these away. I don't think my opponent has anything. I don't think they have a counterspell. I assume they would have countered my Dispel. Yeah. Let's just kill these. Oh yeah. Nice. It also turns off any Ghostly Flickers that they could draw. Ghostly Flicker would be a ton of cards, obviously. Still unfortunate I'm stuck with all these black spells in my hand. Like, I haven't really cast any blue spells. I've just been stuck with black spells every turn. So we went bottom with the Preordain. Archaeomancer gets to get back Diabolic Edict. I'm gonna sacrifice the Angler, even though it's he's got like a Doom. Well, if he has Doomblade, he can just Doomblade before he does this. The Sandworm's unblockable, so that's why I'm gonna leave it on the field. My opponent's gotta have nothing. Like, there's no way you just let this sit on the battlefield. Yep. Dead. Killed him. Cool. So my opponent definitely still disfigures in, which makes me happy I left these out. Still don't really want the removal. It's pretty... I do like the Echoing Decay. It's possible that Ghastly Demise is better, but the reason I like the Echoing Decay is it can hit the Chittering Rats too. These don't hit Chittering Rats, so they like already don't hit like a little under half their creatures, so I don't really want them. I think that was pretty good. Yeah, let's submit it. Would have been nice to hit a second black source at some point in there. Mana base is a little greedy. This hand is an interesting one. I think I'm going to keep it. It's not very good though. Like, I don't have any big threats or anything coming up right away. I think I'm going to lead off with Island so I can hold up Spell Pierce and Mental Note right away. We got all my colors online. Like, if I never play this Dismal Backwater this game, I'll probably still be okay. I'd really like to get some threats going. And I wonder if Uncle Search like has always done this, or if he's just listening to me. I was especially saying in all your blue-black decks that you should definitely be playing Snow-Covered Islands instead. What's my opponent going to do here? Augur Bolas, probably the best card they could play, or else just holding up mana for an instant. Hard to say. Really trying to get that first win with this deck, though. So I think we ran into a pretty bad matchup in round 2 against Izzet Fiend. We just don't have the removal spells to compete with them. And also, they got pretty lucky to... I think they got pretty lucky to win that second game. They just drew, like, triple bolt, top deck to bolt when they needed it. It's possible I could have thought scarred away their bolt, but then you might just... Like, I would have lost a... I would have lost a counterspell since I had counterspell plus I had counterspell plus I had dispel. Yep, so they got the augur. I'll wait for them to choose before I mental note, I guess. I was thinking I don't want to mental note in case they drew days, but this deck isn't playing days, I don't think. Augur Bolt's okay. They must have hit more than one thing because they're trying to decide what to pick. Anyway, what I was saying about last round is it's possible I could have won if I had Thought Scarred away their Lightning Bolt. Interesting, Crypt Incursion. I could have Thought Scarred away their Lightning Bolt, and then I could have like drawn a Ghastly Demise, and then I could have killed the Delver. But anyway. So, pretty bad hits. I would have liked to draw those cards. I'd rather represent Counterspell, I guess. Our hand did not improve with some draw steps and some mental notes. We're still kind of in the same spot as before, unfortunately. I don't really want to gush next turn. I probably won't, but it would be a nice time to play something. Okay. So if I play the swamp, yeah, so I can cast this turn if I gush. I think I'd rather wait one turn so I can hold up this stuff, because if he has just a Chainer's Edict, I'm kind of boned. That's a tough call. Let's just go ahead and wait a turn here. So I could have floated to gushed and then played my swamp, and then I would have had 4 cards in my graveyard, and then if I had any 1-mana spells I could have played them for free. So that was kind of the reason to do that, but I don't know, it seems kind of unnecessary. We are going to get beaten down for a little while here though, I think. Kind of doubt my opponent's going to play anything into my open mana, and I'm not going to play anything either. I might actually just get all the way up to 5 mana for this gush. Again, I don't want to tap out to play my angler. I could have held up 1 mana there with gush. Preordain's okay. I'd really like to find just any of our I'd like to find any of our card draw spells, like a Thought Scour or a Mental Note or something. Okay, luckily this is a pretty slow clock. Okay, that makes me really want to hold up mana now. Our opponent's been kind of playing around it a bit already, and now we drew it. I'll just gush end of turn, I think, and we'll see what they do about it. Actually, don't really mind if this gets countered or whatever. If I were my opponent, if I had a Dispel, I'd probably counter it, but if I had to use a counter spell, I probably wouldn't. Okay. Let's go ahead and cast this. I'm going to exile my Sultai Scavenger, just so I can hold up a little more mana here. Got a lot of counters and stuff, so should be able to resolve this guy. Still gonna get hit by that Chainer's Edict if he's got it. But the Doomblade doesn't kill it. What's he playing here? Evoked Muldrifter is fine, I don't care about that. If he goes to Ghostly Flicker it, I think I'll just Spell Pierce the Ghostly Flicker. Okay. Stack the triggers wrong if he wanted to Ghostly Flicker it. Kinda seems like he didn't want to though. Oh man, if he Chainer's Edicts here and I get to Spell Pierce it, and then I get to Bojuka Bog it away. Ooh, that would have been nice. Alright, what's my opponent discarding here? Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and cycle this. Stormbound Geist is a good one. He does get some sweet Crypt Incursion value, but I can probably dispel that. Let's get in. This is tough. If I want to cast this or not. I got all these really efficient counter spells. I think I'm going to cast it just so I can get value off my Spell Pierce. This is a tough call though. Am I getting hit with a Diabolic Edict? Yeah, I'm going to Spell Pierce that. And obviously I'm getting dispelled, but I'll just dispel my opponent back. The problem is I can't really sacrifice this Stormbound Geist now. So this is kind of the reason I didn't want to do this. My opponent can tap me out here, and then they can just cast like a Chainer's Edict, and then I sacrifice my Stormbound Geist, and then he Crypt Incursions it away. So that's going to be pretty bad for me if that's what happens. I have a sneaking suspicion that is what's going to happen. Oh, Doomblade, same thing. Yeah, pretty unfortunate. Gets to gain some life, get some value. I mean, it's not too big of a problem. Like, my opponent spent 2 cards to take care of one of mine, but still kind of annoying. Yeah, getting a little flooded here. Also, to the point where my opponent can just play and flashback Chainer's Edict. I'm going to hold this island. I'd like to shuffle it away with the Brainstorm if I can. I get to gain more life off the Radiant Fountain. Just have to hope my opponent is very, very flooded. Okay. So that's how I'll shuffle away my island when I draw my Brainstorm. Not going to play this Bog until something actually matters in there. They've also only got 1 creature, so even if they've got Reaping the Graves, I just don't care. Relic is fine. It's kind of annoying, but I'm not going to waste a counterspell on it. I'm just hoping to protect my Angler. Not going to thin my deck. Alright, now Spellbomb is okay. I'll just pop it off right now. Is there any reason not to do that? Yeah, okay. We'll see if I get to do like the super cool trick. I'm going to save this Spellbomb in case my opponent draws Chainer's Edict. If they draw Chainer's Edict, I will be able to hold control and put the Ash Barrens Search on the stack, and then I'll counter it with Counterspell, and then I'll be able to exile it with my Nile Spellbomb after I counterspell it. That'll be sweet. Augur Bola is pretty annoying. That was probably, as long as they hit a good card, it was probably their best draw. Doomblade, not a good card. So, Augur Bola is not that good of a draw. Alright. Now I really hope that Fancy Play comes up. The only removal spell in their deck that can hit this Gurmag Angler, I believe, at this point, is going to be the Chainer's Edict. Thoughts, me? Sure. So we've got Exhume, not very good anymore, that's for sure. Not with a Relic on the board. Alright. No real reason to play any of my lands. I'm saving the Bojuka Bog for if they get something in their graveyard that actually matters. I'd like to shuffle away my island if I draw Brainstorm. I have more than enough mana. No attacks, huh? That's interesting. Wonder what they could have. They could have, I don't know, like double Disfigure. Seems kind of weird though. I feel like they should have attacked with one of them, most likely. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and play this other Angler. So, if he double Disfigures me... Oh, Undying Evil? That's pretty annoying. Kinda want to dispel that. That's kind of a lot of, it's kind of a lot of advantage. Straight up counterspell. Man, my opponent must be desperate. I really don't want this to resolve, though. Yeah, I think I'll counter it again. I know my opponent has 1 dead card in hand. Jeez, another counterspell? Well, fortunately this Echoing Decay doesn't hit the Gurmag Angler, or the Augur Bolas. If it were any of my other removal spells, it would work just fine. It's actually, oh, I don't know why I was bothering to counter that stuff. Yeah, this isn't going to work for my opponent. I'm just gonna spellbomb their graveyard away. Okay. That was a mistake by me. Could also have been a mistake by my opponent. They're probably gonna pop my graveyard now, so I can't cast this Angler anymore. Yep. That does mean I can exhume a Sandworm this turn, though, if they crack this. Yeah, I'll exile one card. It's kind of unnecessary if you're just gonna make me exile all of them. Yep. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. Well, no, playing the Sandworm isn't that impressive. Just dies to a Doomblade. Still, it does get the Doomblade out of their hand. Let's go ahead and sacrifice it, or cycle it, and see what we get. Terramorphic. Not really what I'm looking for. Well, I guess we were kind of lucky to get those counterspells out of their hand anyways. No real reason for me to tap out for Exhume here. I guess I'll go ahead and I'm going to play the Terramorphic Expanse. Don't get to do the cool play if he draws a Chainer's Edict, so now I really hope he doesn't draw one. Really hope my opponent does not draw a Chainer's Edict at this point. Let's get another Swamp. I do have to decide if I want to do this Ash Barrens just so I can get some more cards in my graveyard, but I don't think I need to. I'm gonna play the island though. Alright, Angler getting in. I'm gonna cast my Angler first. Oh yeah, now they can exhume their Augur back. Punt City, you guys. Punt City. Well, I'm just gonna exile my Sandworm. If I'm gonna exhume something, I want to exhume back my Angler anyway. So that's a lot of counterspells. I'm not sure they have any left. They must have top decked that this turn, because I think they would have used it last turn, maybe. I don't remember if they had a good opportunity to use it. I feel like they did. I wonder if my opponent's flickering. Oh, Reaping the Graves, huh? Sure. Maybe that's why they wanted to get that Undying Evil to resolve. So if they draw Chainer's Edict again, probably going to lose. I don't know if they have quite enough mana to get it and flash it back with the Augur. They did draw it. So if they have an untapped land, we're dead. I think we're going to lose probably. But I will get to exhume one of them back, so maybe we won't quite be dead. Okay, that's pretty annoying. Yep. So they got Doomblade in hand. Interesting, they're not casting it. Or, wow. That's kind of insane. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to Echoing Decay this Archaeomancer end of turn. What are they holding up? They got a Doomblade and a Chainer's Edict in their hand. Interesting. Well, so I'm not going to I'm not going to exhume my other Angler yet. Maybe they just want to make sure that they can cast both halves on the same turn. So let's go ahead and attack with our Angler. See if they block again. They do not. That makes me think they have a Ghostly Flicker. So the reason I'm not exhuming here is I don't want them to be able to just Chainer's Edict both of these away. And since I was able to hold on to this Bojuka Bog for so long, I'll be able to take their Chainer's Edict out of their graveyard. It is a problem if they're able to exile my anglers, which would be pretty annoying if they could do that. So I'm going to brainstorm, and then I'm going to put the, let's go ahead and put both these lands on top. I don't want to draw either of them, and I guess I'd rather keep the Ash Barrens. Alright, I thought Scour me. Rush of Vitality. Not great at this point in the game. I did draw that Brainstorm, so that's pretty good. I'm going to play out both my anglers. No, I'm not. I'm going to cast one angler. I'm going to go ahead and delve to the max. I only have like one angler left in the deck, I think. Okay, so I let that resolve. Now I'm going to bog my opponent. Then I'm going to exhume. They have a counterspell now. They drew their last counterspell. Let's brainstorm. I know they have a Doomblade still sitting in their hand. Okay. So I don't want this Rush of Vitality. Don't really want this Ash Barrens either, so I'll probably ponder those two away. Got another Exhume for another Angler, so it's looking like our opponent may very well time out this match. I'm actually going to try to cast this, so I'm not going to go around and I don't want this stuff. I'm not going to use that to shuffle. Another Exhume. Man, I got a little too crazy on the black mana, I guess. Relic's pretty annoying here. Probably gonna have to pop it right away though. So I'll be able to I'll get value out of this Exhume. If my opponent is able to like do anything to come close to surviving, I'll be able to get value off the Exhume. Okay, they missed with their Augurs. Alright, let's go ahead and Thought Scour myself. Sandworm. Sandworm's pretty bad. I'm not gonna like use that or anything. There's our last angler. I should have cast Exhume probably again before attacking. Another bad mistake by me. I keep not being very careful about it. Another angler should probably do it though. We're looking to be... Oh, that was the match? Cool, I must have won... Or did I win game one or something? Well, we got a match, awesome. We were pretty resilient. You can kind of see why I liked to take out the Delvers though. They had this Doomblade in hand almost the whole game without a target, and they probably, like, they had to use a Disfigure at some point. They probably have a Disfigure in hand too, it wouldn't surprise me, so that would have just been a dead card instead of like one of the good cards that I ended up drawing. So alright, I'll see you guys for round number 4. Finally got a win.